Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today? Well, we're relaxing as per usual. Had a day off today, so it's been quite relaxed. Relaxed is not the way you say that word. Relaxed, if anything. So, I've been appreciative of that. I was considering doing some drawing because I'm gonna be honest, I'm so behind in the Animal Crossing thumbnail art. I've not worked on it, I think, for about a month and a half. Which is again entirely my fault. Like, you know, I think probably what I should do is just basically as soon as well, hold on, we'll get to this. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 7:18 p.m. on Monday, June 23rd, 2025. I think it's the same as last year, where basically I finished it just before Art Fight, essentially, and we're coming up to Art Fight again. So that's my plan, to basically finish it just before Art Fight again. So I have time to draw other things. But yeah, I think like the way I'm doing it now is not particularly working out scheduling wise, because it kind of like works okay-ish because I get like some amount of it done leading up in the holidays, but then like when after the holidays are done, I just become way too busy, and then I get into like a state of malaise where I just don't actually work on the thumbnail arts, which is, you know, obviously not optimal. So probably what I was thinking, you know, let's obviously try and negate this in the future, but probably I would just start the Animal Crossing thumbnail art like once July ends. But basically just start from August to March, so I've got like 6 months to slowly work on it, and hopefully then it's a bit more balanced. But whether it'll work, whether it'll not, I don't know. So I do apologise. I didn't want to get to 100 days again where I didn't do it, but I think that's basically how long it took me last year. So as long as I offset everything by 100 days, maybe it'll work out. Anyway, at the end of the day, it's, you know, like I can't, I suppose, to look at it in a more pragmatic perspective, I guess it's kind of fair. Like, obviously this isn't, the Animal Crossing thumbnail art is huge. It always takes a really long time to do. It's a bit hard to find exactly the timing to, you know, figure out exactly how to distribute 25 hours over something when you're already doing a lot of different things. But at the same time, you know, it is a bit of a shame that it has to be so delayed. Anyway, you're not here to hear apologies, I suppose, over and over again, because I think most people are just sort of like, yeah, when it gets done, it gets done. It will be nice when if it's done on the anniversary, but, you know, so be it. It's understandable, which I'm appreciative of. So yeah, I was thinking about it because I was like, okay, you know, Art Fight's coming up. Normally I want to get all my like videos recorded beforehand, so I can just spend as much time doing art as possible during July. But I'm like, I'm behind in recording, so today I had to basically record my videos because I wasn't here on the weekend. And then I'm like, well, Another Crab's Treasure is almost certainly going to finish within the next 4 episodes or so, so it means I actually do have to do an extra thumbnail art before then. 1,000 Times Resist will not finish. Animal Well, I think, won't finish until after July, just. But it might be kind of close, depending, which is a bit of an alternative nuisance. But if it happens that, like, towards the end of July or something, then so be it. I mean, I think I could probably find a way to do more things in Animal Well. Like, there are more achievements I can try. Same for Another Crab's Treasure, mind you, but we'll sort of just see. I think Another Crab's Treasure's probably got about 5 more episodes maybe left. So over 2 this week, 2 next week, and then I think the week after that will probably be the final episode. That's my guess. I don't actually know. Again, it's sort of like, how much longer do I want to try and do things for? Because there are always small things that you can do to extend out a series, which I have done in the past. If I'm like, oh, you know, I don't have enough episodes to fill something in, etc., etc. And July is often a bad time for it, but, you know, it's my own undoing for the fact I didn't invest enough time in previous months to do so. But also at the same time, I've been busy for other reasons, so it's like, well, you know, what can you do? Anywho, yes, so that's what I was going to say about that. So yeah, I'm gonna probably record some more Another Crab's Treasure. If not, I'm going to just do some drawing today, to try and finish off as much of the Animal Crossing thumbnail art as I can. I don't think I'll finish it today, but I think I'll probably get a decent amount done. But yeah, apart from that, we're going to just talk about, you know, random topics as per usual. So took the day off today to sort of relax and unwind, because I knew the weekend was going to be so busy from Friday to Sunday, and I was like, I could go into work immediately, I suppose, on Monday, but then I'm just like, you know, why not just give myself a little bit more leeway, a little bit of breathing room. If you don't know, it's because I was away in Scotland for a friend's bachelor party, or stag do. Really, it was more of a sten do, flying in with facial traditions. But yeah, I anticipated, I was like, well, I'm going back on Sunday. Saturday's the actual heavy celebratory event. It might be incredibly intense, so it might be something where I want some rest and recuperation. I'm not going to talk about it much because, again, it doesn't really fit Animal Crossing's vibe. But it didn't, honestly, it wasn't. Oh, it's your sprinkles, right? Oh, sprinkles, sorry. It wasn't too intense, actually. So probably didn't need an entire other day of rest and recuperation, but I am glad to have it. D&D is on hold for this week because I was basically just like, I need to take a break. And I was actually reflecting on this. I was like, I should probably be taking more frequent breaks with regards to D&D so I don't end up burning myself out. Because like reflecting back on, you know, the past month where I was like, I was pretty busy and I was doing D&D and I was like trying to get YouTube and everything balanced at the same time, basically led to me having essentially no spare time, especially because a lot of things happened on weekends as well. And now I had like a moment to, you know, actually have like a day where I didn't have to do anything. Well, actually saying that, I started to record YouTube videos. I was sort of reflecting, being like, yeah, I got a, you know, better management of how busy I make myself. So probably it'd be better if I had a more scheduled like time off or something with D&D, maybe like once a month, taking a bit of just having 1 week where D&D isn't happening or something. I don't know. It is just something I need to figure out, because I wonder if I don't want it to slip in a sense, but I also need to be, because like in some months where like not a lot of things happen, when it's like, yeah, you know, having a D&D, I assume this is Audie's, I'm not actually sure. Well, not a lot of things happen. This wasn't what I was going to talk about today, but it is what we're going to talk about now, I suppose. Well, not a lot happens. Having D&D twice a week is completely fine. Like, it's completely balanceable. But when a lot of things is happening, it becomes absolutely insane, I think, to keep up with at the same time. So it's sort of like, I don't know. I think possibly what I might do is I might also do another week off or something in July. And it kind of depends, because again, I like to try and keep July relatively free because I like to draw during Art Fight. I don't draw as much nowadays because I feel like certainly at the end of like Art Fight last year, I started being like, oh, you know, I'm starting to feel like my wrist is getting really fatigued and painful if I draw for too long. You know, I'm like, that could be a very real risk of carpal tunnel. Let's not overexert myself. So I basically did not do any more drawing for the rest of that year, recreationally. And then at the start of the new year again, I did a bit more drawing again, and then I got busy, essentially. So yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. Rest and recuperation is a difficult thing to properly balance. But I'm also like, at the same time, you know, it's two sessions a week is a lot for me, but then for like one of the players is playing as a player, one session a week is not that much, you know, it's not that intensive, I would say, being a player compared to being a DM, depending on your style of DM and your style of playing, I think. But at the same time, I'm just like, you know, I want it to be a fun experience, and you know, it's 3 times a week, 3 times a month, is like is that right balance? I don't know. I think ideally, if anything, it'd be very cool to get some of my other friends to DM things in the weeks that I take off, but so far that has not been happening. I mean, I think it's a big ask at the same time, and this is not like a sort of tabletop society. This is just sort of me spitballing here, you know. It would be cool. you know, because then it would be like Critical Role style. It would be like, oh yeah, you know, 3 times a month it happens, and then I think what they do is on the last week of it every month, they have something else for filling that spot instead. Which I'm like, that, you know, I have a lot of respect to Matt Mercer for doing that, because, you know, it's a lot otherwise, especially to the level of polish that they have going on. Now, that's not to say I don't like DMing, and that's not to say I don't like any of my playing D&D with my friends or having any of these sessions or anything like that. It's just, I think, you know, it's me being realistic with myself, being like, I gotta understand and catch burnout problems or potential earlier rather than later. Because if it comes in too late, then everything crashes and burns. But if you come at it with the right mindset, if you come in with like, okay, let's just keep an eye out, let's think about this, let's be realistic, then it's easier to catch, it's easier to sort of identify, and you can do a much more sustainable way moving forward. That's kind of what I have in mind, really. Whether that will be achievable or not, well, I mean, it certainly is achievable, but it's more about finding the right balance of what things should or shouldn't be like. And I don't really know the answer to that, necessarily. And I think, I mean, it certainly doesn't help myself. I do a lot of things. Obviously, you know, I work, and then I'm like, I want to play all these different games, and then I also have a YouTube channel, and then there's D&D as well, and then I like have drawing as well, and then it's like, well, I also got other hobbies that I want to partake in, but now it's like I can't partake in. It's finding the right balance, and honestly, something's got to give. And honestly, like a lot of my games, I think, have given way, where I haven't played a lot of my gacha games for a while. Like, I haven't played, I don't remember what this one's called, Gakamas, for I think a month. Don't care anymore. Pocket Camp, I've also stopped playing now. It's something I boot up every once in a while just to look, that's fine. TCG Pocket, I don't really play the game, I just sort of open the packs, and I'm totally fine with that. Project Sakai, I still kind of play, but I don't actively play, because a lot of it's on auto mode, and Starlight Stage I don't really play that much anymore. Shiny Colours, I kind of just do the dailies, that's about it, but that takes about 3 minutes. Shiny Song, I don't play anymore. So I feel like it's in a nicer balance of things, which is good. But now it's sort of like introducing the diligence back in the other activities at the same time. You know, well, taking up D&D meant that things got sacrificed, and I think one big thing that got sacrificed was definitely drawing for my thing. So now I'm just like, okay, well, now where else can I cut things from? You know, let's cut some things out from video games, you know. Some of these like daily gacha games, which I don't need to play continuously all the time anymore, especially because I'm not as interested in them anymore. Introduce some more sort of like social elements here and there. Introduce drawing back in. Focus on the channel a bit more, you know. It's all a balancing act. That's basically what I'm just trying to say, is like, this is what life is. It's a huge balancing act. You only have so many, so much energy which you can invest into things here and there. And being able to know what it is, what the right balance is for you, what things you want to invest in, is difficult. It's hard to know. And that's fine. I guess I just kind of wanted to talk aloud about it in a soapbox style. Of like, yes, the Animal Crossing Fun Run Out is still coming. Yes, a lot of it was my own fault. A lot of it was also the fact that I was just busy. And a lot of the fact was I just didn't get the balance quite right, you know? And, you know, this is probably the point where I'd say, oh, you know, I did this for like transparency on my channel. And the answer is, no, not really. At the end of this day, this channel could just disappear in an instance. Like, one day might just be a day where I'm like, you know, I'm just uploading videos for the sake of uploading videos, I'm not having fun with it anymore, and then that would just be that, and it might just have no specific fanfare, it will just stop existing. And that might seem like a sad thing, but again, I mean, the channel has been born out of basically a desire just to play the game, so really I think I would just be like, oh, I've played all the games that I want to play at the moment, or, you know, I'm doing it in an unsustainable way in the channel. Now, I'm not going to say that is what's going to happen with the channel. I'm just saying it's entirely possible. Obviously, I think the ideal thing would be, you know, what I'm saying now is like I would identify the signs coming up where I'm like, oh, you know, I'm burning out, or I'm like, you know, I'm starting not to feel the luster of it anymore. I would, you know, see that the current Let's Plays, you know, sort of get like shrunk down. Maybe that helps. Instead of doing 3, I'll do like 2. Maybe streams stop. Maybe I stop doing custom thumbnail arts. I don't know. Some things you start sort of taking away, seeing like, can I reignite that passion? Maybe you take a hiatus. Maybe I don't. You know. I think you see this a lot with like creators and people taking hiatuses coming back. I'm not comparing my situation necessarily to theirs, because their livelihood kind of rests on it. And if anything, my livelihood, because my livelihood doesn't rest on it, it makes it easier, if anything, to walk away from, right? I can just be like, well, you know, if at any point I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore, it's done. And that is just, well, how it will be. There's no fancy way around it. And I think that's fine. And I think that's kind of like an unwritten thing which people, you know, do accept, right? I don't think anyone is expecting me to do this YouTube channel forever, but it's more just like, while it's still here, let's appreciate the time we have. And I guess that's kind of the attitude I take to a lot of things. It's about sort of identifying the scheduling conflicts and things which could occur in the future, making sure that you identify them and then act proactively, I suppose. This is such like corporate talk. I didn't mean to make it so corporate sounding, but I mean, it is. It's about identifying things proactively, and then, you know, it'd be too easy to just sort of let things crash and burn, in a sense, where I'm just like, oh, you know, I'm just done with a channel, and then I just disappear off the face of the earth, and that's it, that's done. That, I think, is unfair. Obviously, I don't want that to happen, but it's entirely possible it does happen. But the alternative is that, you know, I think ahead, and I'm just like, okay, I can see myself getting tired of this sort of thing. I can see myself being like, starting to burn out, starting to, you know, not enjoy it as much. I'm just going through motions rather than actually recording for the sake of recording. Or, well, I was recording for the sake of recording rather than recording for the fun of recording. And from there, you know, as long as you proactively put some steps into like, all right, something's got to change in one way or another, it means that things can get a resolute ending, which they desire, which they should get, rather than just being like, oh, done, that's it. It's more like, okay, it slowly dies down, and then like when it's like, okay, we're putting a pin in it, definitively this is it, we can have like a proper ending. That's kind of what I mean, you know? And again, I would like to reiterate, I do not see this happening for the YouTube channel for a while. I'm enjoying playing the YouTube channel. It is just, it is more or less me just sort of explaining why, you know, the thumbnail art's not being done. If anything, I guess that's it. It's like I'm taking that time spent on thumbnail art to be able to make sure that the YouTube videos still can come out, if anything, and streams can happen. And some of it is for my own self-sanity as well, you know. I think most people are very fair when they watch us. They're not like, hey Dylan, you got to make all these videos all the time. I think most people are like, hey, you know, your own state of being comes first, you know. Make sure you don't burn out. I think this probably would go for every creator, that they'd rather some things be sacrificed and necessarily everything be sacrificed, right? But maybe not, I don't know. At the end of the day, this is my choice, so this is what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm going to wrap this episode up here, I guess. I don't really have anything else to say. This wasn't really what I was going to talk about. But maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow instead. So, for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares. Greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.